Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'll be reacting to John Prine for the very first time, and we're going to be checking out the song That's the Way That the World Goes Round. This is not a name that I'm familiar with, but after getting this request and hearing some information about John, apparently he's one of the best music storytellers there is. He's funny, authentic, and for me, I love just getting to discover new music, and if it happens that they're an amazing storyteller, that is all the better for me over here. So I'm excited to check this out today, but before doing just that, let's thank Jason the Talented for making this donation request. And Jason dedicates this to all the wonderful misheard lyrics that make us smile. You know, I remember when I was a kid, one of my favorite genres of YouTube video to watch was misheard lyrics. And then there was that song, I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, by Eiffel 65. You may or may not know it, but that song has so many different iterations and versions of their own misheard lyrics. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're here to listen to John Prine today, so let's do it. Let's jump in.
Muscles in his head ain't never been used. Thinks he owns half of this town. Started drinking heavy, got a big red nose. Beat his old lady with a rubber hose. And took her out to dinner, bought her new clothes. It's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You up one day, the next you down. It's a happening at your water. You think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round.
I think he's just finger picking or finger style. Capo on 2.
Counting my toes when the radiator broke. Water all froze, I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak when the sun come through the window. The ice all broke, I stood up and laughed, thought it was a joke. It's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You up one day, the next you down. It's a happening at your water. You think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round.
Wow. I like the perspective there, and I guess what seems to be the chorus. It always feels like you're drowning, even if you are in a half inch of water. It's all really a matter of perspective. And this is more of a random personal Sohum comment, but I remember back in 4th grade, this was the only, I think, year in school ever I had where our homeroom teacher would sing songs along with us. And it would be, you know, all kinds of songs. It would be just like old Western songs or more popular like songs at the time. There was that one song, The Levee Was Dry, something like that. American Pie. Yeah, that one. Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee. Like, songs like that. This gives me a similar feel, so it almost brings me back to that fourth grade classroom where I'm hearing our teacher sing us a song that also conveys a bit of a story, and it still has the meaning there. So, I don't know, somehow, even though I've never heard John, it feels nostalgic to me.
That's the way that the world goes round.
a beautiful, simple acoustic progression. Nice melody.
When I was about 11 or 12 years old, my mother and father bought me this small blue transistor radio. I was a pretty lucky kid. They only made about 11 million of them, and I got one of them. I started listening to this radio from early in the morning till late at night. We got this great rock and roll stations out of Chicago, great R&B. We even had a really good country station I used to listen to. Sometimes I'd fall asleep at night with the radio on underneath my pillow so I wouldn't wake my brothers up.
Small note, do you hear how gravelly and bassy his voice is? He's like the grandfather telling stories in the rocking chair. I like it.
So I wouldn't wake my brothers up. I started going down to the magazine store once every month just to see if the new issue of Hit Parader magazine or Country Song Roundup had come out yet, because they printed the lyrics to you, all the hit songs. And right off the bat, I really was into the words that they were singing. You know, it's just when I'd get a hold of an issue of Hit Parader or Country Song Roundup, sometimes they weren't singing the words I thought they were singing. For example, at one time I bought every Fats Domino record that come out. One time Fats did a version of this song from the 40s called Margie. Margie, I'm always thinking of you, Margie. Sounded a whole lot better when Fats Domino did it. Anyway, Fats got to the middle of the song and he went...
You know, the ironic part about this is it's about misheard lyrics, and YouTube's AI algorithm trying to come up with the lyrics here are not doing very well, so we're just going to turn that off.
Sounded a whole lot better when Fats Domino did it. Anyway, Fats got to the middle of the song and he went, don't forget your grumbly beans. I thought, wow, grumbly beans. That must be something you could only get in New Orleans. Man, when I grow up, I'm gonna go to New Orleans and get me some grumbly beans. So the end of the month came and I went down to the magazine store. By that time, Margie had gone #1 all across the nation. So sure enough, in Hit Parader magazine, they had the words to Margie. And it turns out that Fats Domino was singing Don't Forget Your Promise to Me.
Just worlds apart.
Man, I like grumbly beans a whole lot.
Yeah.
I was playing this little club in the San Francisco area once, and this girl come up to the side of the stage and said, hey, John, play that song for me, the one that makes me feel so good. And I said, well, which one would that be? And she said, you know, the one about the enchilada, a happy enchilada. Well, I had to stop and think, you know. Because I've written a few weird ones, you know. And turns out I knew the girl. She was the ex-wife of this saxophone player in the Bay Area. I thought, well, maybe we'd gone to a party together or something. You know, I tried to impress her by making up a song about the food or something.
Right.
Somehow I knew this couldn't be. You see, I keep this file cabinet at home. It's the only thing I've managed to keep through 3 marriages. Mainly because nobody cared about it.
This is almost like more of a stand-up comedy show at this point than it is a musical performance. But you still hear all the while he's just very lightly strumming and playing the melody.
Marriages. Mainly because nobody cared about it. But all I keep in the file cabinet are words that I would never use in a song. Enchilada is one of them.
It's so random.
So I looked directly at her and I said, you know, there's a distinct possibility that you might have me confused with some other singer-songwriter. You know, maybe somebody like Jimmy Buffett or somebody. You know, he writes songs about food. She said, no, John, it was you. I wish you'd sing it. I said, well, tell me how it goes. She said, it's a happy enchilada and you think you're going to drown. That's the way that the world goes round.
That's sweet. Enchilada. I used to eat those all the time.
That's the way that the world goes around.
That's awesome. Well, there you have it. That's The Way the World Goes Round by John Prine. I'm not really sure what I was expecting musically, but in terms of lyrics and just overall, again, storytelling, this was a really fun listen, and it brings into my head two kind of random references. The first one is actually, if you guys have read it, I highly encourage you to find a subreddit called Bone, B-O-N-E, Apple, and then T-E-A. So Bone Apple Tea. That subreddit is basically about this long-standing joke about people hearing things and then mishearing things and then creating completely random alternatives. So Bon Appetit, it comes from Bon Appetit. But of course, somebody who didn't know that Bon Appetit being a French word, they had no idea what where it came from. They heard Bon Appetit, and that spawned a litany of other misheard common sayings or jokes. And, you know, it'll be like different pictures of people posting on Facebook or conversations had in text messages of somebody saying something that makes absolutely no sense. And then when you like go to question them, then you come to find out they mean something else. I think you'd have a laugh looking at that subreddit. And then I guess the second reference is less of a reference, and it's more of my own personal life as it relates to mishearing things. For whatever reason, I don't have like a way to quantify this, but I will mishear things in the middle of conversation, whether it's because like all of the ambient background noise at the same time is like overlapping with the words being spoken in such a way that it alters the way I hear them, or I'm just a terrible listener and I'm ignoring the person speaking to me right in front of me. It could be any number of things, or maybe they were quiet, or things got muffled, whatever. But often I will, hear a different thing than was said, and then if it makes sense, if it makes enough sense, then I'll go ahead with my assumption that I got it right because I think there's no other way to operate. And then if they tell me like, what are you talking about? I'll be like, didn't you just say that? And then come to find out it is something entirely different, though it like rhymes very well with the original thought. Maybe this is like a very common occurrence. I can only speak from my example because this happens to me at least once a day where I'll have to either ask the person, hey, can you like repeat that? Or I'll just carry on the convo as if I heard what they said correctly the first time. But yeah, John is a fun performer here. I think, I don't know if this is enough for me to get a broader idea of who he is, but you can just tell he has very comforting energy, and he's able to just have fun with the audience, and they were laughing the entire way through. So he's a great storyteller, great comedian, and seemingly a very down-to-earth person. Would love to check out more from John on the channel. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and would like to request a reaction yourself, you can do so by clicking the link below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.